Hi everyone! The question, should I study music at university, is one I often receive. The short answers I typically give are, it's up to you, and if you do, make sure you have a clear idea of what you want to do with music and is gaining a degree necessary for achieving this. The first response perhaps is obvious, however I think it's important, as regardless of what I or anyone else says, the final decision comes down to you. The second response, I think, is key to making your final decision, and while it may not necessarily be possible to determine exactly what your goals and outcomes are, having some sort of plan is better than wasting time and money on a degree which you may never use or which turns out to not be what you expected. Trying to create a plan before applying also helps some people to realize that music isn't really something they want to pursue at a tertiary level. For them, perhaps a conjoint degree, such as Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Music, or Bachelor of Commerce, Bachelor of Music, may be a better option, as they can focus on another discipline but still take some music papers for interest. In this video, I'll discuss several aspects of what studying music at university entails, its potential advantages and disadvantages. Bear in mind, however, that depending on where you're intending to study, some of the following may not be applicable. While there is some overlap between them, a university music program can typically be divided into the following areas or majors: theory, which also includes analysis; musicology, which includes ethnomusicology and several other areas; composition, which includes electronic music; and performance, which traditionally was solely focused on classical instruments, but which in many universities now also includes jazz and pop studies. In many universities, jazz and pop have their own schools offering subjects which can essentially be divided into the same areas as those in a classical-based school, but which are focused on the relevant style. Jazz and pop degrees are performance-based, and as with classical performance majors, still require students to take papers in theory, analysis, composition, etc. As it's such an important part of all music, all schools, whether classical, jazz or pop, will also have ear training classes. Some of you, if you feel your oral skills are lacking therefore, may wish to improve this aspect of your musicianship before applying. While throughout your undergraduate years you'll be able to take other papers along with those compulsory to your year, ensure that all or most of the optional papers you do take are requisites for your ultimate major. Even if you don't intend undertaking postgraduate study, choosing a major and mapping out the necessary papers to achieve it ensures you won't need to take extra papers in your second or third years because you didn't take them previously. Some of the compulsory papers you'll probably need to take in a classical degree will be those covering core subjects such as harmony, counterpoint, ear training, maybe a history of music paper, along with some optional subjects. Composition papers, for example, especially in the first year, may be taken even if it isn't your major. If you're a performance student, you'll essentially take the same papers but will also take those relevant to your instrument. If your major is voice, for example, a language paper is typically required. As already mentioned, in a jazz or pop degree, core subjects will also be compulsory, but there will be more of a focus on performance. Probably one of the main advantages of studying music at university level is the networking, not only with other students but with lecturers and teachers. Performance students, for example, will have the opportunity to play in different ensembles and bands. They may also participate in masterclasses, which are also offered in the other areas of study. Having access to a university's equipment and resources can also be an advantage. Composition students who take electronic music, for example, will have access to software and equipment that would cost thousands to purchase. Competitions, such as for composition or performance students, many of which are only open to students enrolled in a tertiary course, are also available. The opportunity to study with lecturers who are specialists in their fields is also an advantage. When considering potential schools, therefore, it can be useful to look at its research focuses. If they align with your interests, it may be a good idea to choose that school. Likewise, if one of the lecturers of a school is someone you want to study with, that may be a reason to go there. Often this can be more important for performance students who may wish to study with a known artist who also teaches at a university. Some potential disadvantages of tertiary level music study are the price and the time it takes to get a degree, which doesn't guarantee a job when completed. Many students also complain that some papers aren't relevant to their interests. For many, Renaissance-style counterpoint, for example, is too far removed from even later classical-era counterpoint and is not seen as necessary. Does having a degree help you achieve your ambitions? If you want to gain a recording contract, for example, a degree won't necessarily help you achieve this. Even now, most pop and jazz artists with recording contracts don't have degrees in music. For some of you to achieve your goals, many tertiary music papers may in fact be unnecessary. With the information which is now available online and in print, much of it for free, acquiring knowledge in many fields without enrolling in a university is achievable. The availability of good private tutors is also another option. Once again, whether you choose to enroll in a music degree or study on your own or with a tutor comes down to whether a degree is necessary for you to reach your goals. If not, then it probably isn't worth your time or effort. I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. See you next time.